Earth's bounty.
I am unfamiliar
Dire's
with this
middle tower
feeling.
is under
Is
attack.
it joy?
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's top tower has fallen.
You see me waiting.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen. Dire's top barracks. The Radiant now have Mega Creeps. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Big summer night.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's ancient is under attack. Radiant
An eternity of embarrassment. Just as I envisaged.
Bounty.
Radiant are scanning. Fallen to the Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Visibility.
What is this? Gold and sweet. Kindred bounty. Earth's bounty.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's turret.
You have the power. Let's shake things set in stone.
tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Set in stone.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified.
Tis mine.
Double damage.
Radiant are scared.
Swiftly through forest
Dire's
shade.
top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks is fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
I doubt your kin will weep for you.
Wonderful.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bounty.
Wonderful.
Invisibility.
Dire's top shrine is under attack. Radiant are scanning. Roshan has fallen to the
Immortality.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks
Bounty. My path leads to riches. Hail to the night. Invisibility.
Generation!
Scanning. Dire's top Dire's top shrine is under attack. Dire's top shrine has fallen.
I return to battle this.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's top shrine is under attack. Radiant's top shrine has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Bounty.
All pick. Prepare for battle.
Onward. All must proceed. Patrolling.
30 seconds to
Lord
battle.
synthesis. So it must be. Ahead.
The battle begins.
Unity must be achieved. The destruction of the ancients begin coursing. First blood. Primordial will.
First blood, bagged and tagged.
Onward. Hounding. Indeed. Ever closer. Denied. The self moves. Guard this ground. The self knows this power. Yes. Abide if you dare. In unison. You shall be scoured. Ever forward. Seeking. Yes.
Bounty!
Gold claimed. Disunion. Submit. The warden strikes. The set grows. It will be. Doggedly. Denied. Alarm. Always aware. Concede. Attack. Phasing. Attack. The self, and yet more so. The self seeks. Self is under attack. Primordial will. Middle is missing. Halt. Suffer. It will be. The self roams. Action. Seeking. The self seeks. Yes. Greater glory. Be watchful. Yes. Indeed.
Top is
Ever
missing.
closer. Proceed. So it must be. You will cease. Middle is missing. None escape the self. Heading forward. You shall be scoured. Alarm. Arc to power. Seeking. Will cease. The cell split from fragments into fuller unities. Will.
Top is missing.
Middle is missing. Ahead.
Missing! Bottom!
Suffer. Always. Self is under attack. Unity must be achieved. The self moves.
Missing! Bottom!
The self roams. Stand firm. Action. In unison.
Gold for my chest.
One divided against itself cannot stand. Onward. Patrolling.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Hounding.
Top is missing.
Self seeks. Abide if you dare. Concede. Denied. Ever closer. Yes. Missing. Phasing. Onward.
Is missing.
Disunion. So it must be. Hold here.
It's mine.
Yes. Justice.
Top is missing.
All must proceed toward synthesis. Yes. The self expands. The self roams. Middle is missing. Doggedly. Hand of Midas.
Top is missing.
Attack. It will be. So it must be. Seeking. Gold claim. Attack. Stricken. Suffer. Onward. The self moves. Strikes.
Top is missing.
Yes. Toward synthesis. Let no foe come in. You will cease.
Missing.
Onward.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Controlling. Forward. Justice. The self is not ready. Always aware. The arc grows brighter. Yes.
Top is missing.
Missing. Portal.
Primordial strength refound. Indeed. Hounded. Ahead. Yes. A timely reward. All must proceed. Action. Ever closer. Double damage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
The self seeks. Unity must be achieved. Escape the self. The self seeks. All must proceed. Doggedly.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Coward. Spark Wraith.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
In unison. The self roams. Free. Always aware. So it must be. Onward. Ever closer. The self moves. Concede.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Coursing. Gift of death. Disunion. Power. Conflict. Attack. Onward.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Ever forward. Yes. Phasing. Indeed. Ahead.
That was a failed ball.
Stand firm. Attack. Unity must be achieved. Yes. Hounding. Ever closer. Return, no master. The self roams, fragment of self. Stricken. Toward synthesis. Always aware. Sentinel. Submit. Attack.
Radiant structures are fortified. The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Yes. Stricken. Doggedly. All now together. Justice. You shall be scoured.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Guard this combat.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Seeking. In unison. Yes. The self seeks.
bottom tower has fallen.
Onward. Attack. Unity must be achieved. Yes. Triple kill! And forward. Submit. You will cease. Phasing. Toward synthesis. The self moves. Disunion.
Your top tower is under attack.
It will be seeking. Onward. Onward. So it must be. Be watchful. Hounding. Unity must be achieved. Aware. Boots of travel. Glory. The self is not ready.
Forever.
Yes. And yet more so.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
In unison.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Ahead. The self roams. Suffer. Primordial will.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Sparkling infusion. Field of power. Dogged me. All must proceed. Yes. must proceed. The sun rose. Unity must be achieved. All together, we shall be scoured. It will be. Every form will come. You will cease. Listen. So must be. Mjolnir. Self moves.
The enemy's
Ever
top
closer.
tower has fallen.
Yes.
Radiant structures are fortified. The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Is no more.
The enemy's top barracks has fallen. The enemy's top barracks has fallen.
Attack. Self is under attack. Action.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Ever forward.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
Indeed. Yes. Not yet. Course.
this road.
bottom barracks has
Unity
fallen.
must be achieved. Attack.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Proceed. Yes. Patrolling. The self moves. Yes. Field of power.
Radiant structures are fortified. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Stand
The enemy's middle barracks is falling down fragmented.
fragment of self-closing. Abide if you dare. Knows selfie. This unity dynamic charge.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Guard this ground.
Dire victory.
Victory.
Fire in the hole. Throwing a grenade.
control.
Nice shooting.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Breaker, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how to set up OBS Studio in order to get the best possible streaming quality on Twitch. Now, if you're only interested in one of the topics that I'm covering in this current video, then I have left the timestamps to each of these topics section here. You want to work in the streaming tab, use the first audio track, and if you followed my previous tutorial on how to set up your audio, you know that we have set all of the audio to go into the first audio track. If you haven't seen this video, I'm linking it in the top right corner right now. Now let's talk about the encoder mode. And basically, if you have an NVIDIA GPU, you have two options here. The first is X264, which basically means that all of the encoding is done on the CPU. And the other one is NVENC, which means that all of the encoding is done on the GPU. Now ideally you want to have the least amount of lag on your system while you're gaming and streaming at the same time. And this is usually always the case if you're using the GPU for encoding, because your CPU is usually already very heavily used up by the current game that you're playing. But unfortunately you have to think about your upload speed as well, because the NVENC codec does not really do such a good job at encoding high quality footage. So this really depends on the upload speed that you have found out using the Twitch bandwidth tester. If, for instance, you only have something like 5000 kilobits per second here, then you're gonna have to go down with the bitrate a lot. And I've actually tried this out with various different limitations on the upload speed, and what I found was that a good rule of thumb really is to choose half of the bitrate of the upload speed that you have. So if it says 6000 for example, you should choose 3000 as a bitrate. Obviously, you have to keep in mind, guys, that next to live streaming the video, you also have to stream the audio. You also have to communicate the game somehow, and you also have other things on your computer that use the internet connection. So you should really make sure not to use too much of a bitrate here, because if you choose a too high bitrate, what can happen is, first of all, you're gonna have a yellow or red indicator in OBS Studio, which basically means your upload cannot keep up with the actual bandwidth that you have, or you actually lose frames. And if you actually lose or drop frames, then this really results in a bad experience for the viewers. So let's just assume you have a rather good upload speed. So we're gonna go with the NVENC standard. We will talk about the X264 in just a second, don't worry. Don't use rescale output. Always use a constant bitrate, guys. You always want to have that. It just gives you the much better quality on Twitch. If you do actually have the highest possible upload, so let's say more than 12 megabits per second, you can use 6000 here. Twitch has actually upgraded their maximum requirements for streamers, as you can see here. Even if you're not partnered, you're allowed to stream at 6000 kilobits per second, and it's actually even recommended. Use a keyframe interval of 2. The high quality preset is what you want to choose with the NVENC standard. Use the high profile and make sure to disable 2-pass encoding. This basically just slows down your system and is not going to help the video quality a tremendous amount, so I always disable it here. But here you'll see an overview of the different qualities that you can expect when having different upload speeds, choosing different bit rates, and you can also see the difference of using NVENC versus the X264 encoder. Now you can see that NVENC is doing actually a rather decent job with the image quality. You get very low CPU usages when using NVENC, around 3 to 5%, whereas if you're using X264 for encoding, your OBS is actually using around 15 to 20% of your CPU. On the other hand, if you go down with your bitrate because you don't have such a high upload, you can see that the NVENC codec is actually struggling quite a bit with keeping up a nice image quality. And in that case, I'm afraid you don't really have another option than to use the X264 codec or your CPU for streaming. Now, if this is the case for you, if you have to use the X264 codec, you want to use the following settings. So go with CBR again, this is always the best setting. The minimum bitrate that I found had still a reasonable video quality on Twitch was about 2500 kilobits per second. If you don't have a higher upload speed, so for example, if you only have 4 megabits per second, then you should really consider if you actually want to live stream. In that case, by the way, I also recommend you to use 720 or even lower resolutions here. But let's go back to the bitrate. So if you can stream at 2500, for example, if you have a 5 megabit upload, use a keyframe interval of 2. Now, the CPU preset is another thing that kind of varies depending on your CPU. Now, if you have a very good CPU, you might want to consider to go higher than very fast. So basically anything below very fast is worse quality, but it uses less CPU, and anything higher than very fast uses more CPU, but gives you a nicer quality on the stream. Unfortunately, even for me, I have a quad core at 5 GHz, I cannot really run anything higher than very fast, so chances are you cannot really run faster on your CPU either. For the profile, we want to choose high once again. Don't pick anything for tune or X264 options. Okay, so we've talked about the audio tab in my previous video, you can check it out over here again. We've looked at the video tab. You can set up hotkeys, so you can set up a hotkey for changing between scenes, you can set up a hotkey
Hey guys, what's up? It's Maz here. Not be the one for you. So for this video, we're actually going to be using the newest version of OBS, so definitely make sure that you check that out by downloading that. It'll be updated sometime Most of you guys know how to set up like scenes and sources, so I'm not going to be covering that, but in case you guys don't, then you guys can check out my best recording settings video that I made for 2019, and I do cover all of that in like some good detail. Anyways, to save some time, let's just go ahead and head straight into the settings, and in case you guys are following this tutorial with Streamlabs OBS, then I should have a picture highlighting how to get to the settings from there on the screen right now. But anyways, when you're here, the first thing that we want to do is go to the video tab, and when you're here, go to the description and open up the link that takes you to speedtest.net. When you're there, go ahead and hit the go button to start your speed test, and just make sure that you're connected with an Ethernet cable or something when doing this, because that's going to give you the most accurate. This is going to tell us your internet speed, and for streaming, anything below 3 for your upload speed isn't even worth trying to stream. And the reason I say that is because you just don't have enough bandwidth to stream and play your game and share internet with your other family members at the same time. Anyways, when your test is done, just try to remember the first 2 numbers right here under your upload speed. So for me, it's 11, and you don't have to worry about anything after the decimal. It doesn't really hold that much value. Now, for most people, it's going to be very similar to mine. It's only going to be double digits or maybe even like a single digit over here, but there are going to be some people watching this video that have like something in the thousands or in the hundreds, but at that point, you're more than okay, and you don't really have to worry about much. Anyways, like I said before, just make sure you remember the number in front of the decimal, and then from there we can go back to OBS. When you're back in OBS, what you want to do is make sure that you leave your base canvas resolution at the max that it allows you to be at. So for me, it's 2560 x 1440, but I'm guessing for most of you guys it's going to be 1920 x 1080, and that's more than okay. The reason mine's like that is because I have a 1440p monitor, but most people do have a 1080p monitor, so that's why I'm expecting that most of you guys will be using 1920 x 1080. Now, moving on from that, we have the output scaled resolution, and I should have a table on the screen right now that tells you what to do here. So for example, if you have an upload speed of 4, then make your resolution 1280 x 720 by clicking on the drop down menu right here and looking for 1280 x 720. From there, click it and you should be good to go. And in that same situation, you're going to want to change your common FPS values from 60 down to 30. If you have an upload speed above 15, then all you have to do is just change this back to 1080p, and then you can change this to 60. Honestly though, one thing I do like to do personally is I like to manually type in my output scale resolution, and I usually change this to 1600 x 900, and then from there, it's usually like a really good middle point, and I type that in manually because I feel like it's better quality than 720p, but it doesn't really require as much work as it does for 1080p encoding. So I definitely think that if you're in the middle range like I am, like with 11, then you should definitely try this as well. Leave your downscale filter at length, so sharpen scaling and 32 samples. From there, hit apply, and then we're going to go to the output tab. But again, one thing I do want to mention is make sure that you look at the table that I had on the screen and then pick whatever matches for your output scale resolution. Always leave your base canvas resolution at whatever it is on default, like usually the highest one, but your output scale resolution is actually going to be the quality that you're going to be streaming in. So if I leave mine at this, that means that I'm going to be doing a 900p stream. If I change this to 1080p, then I'm going to be doing a 1080p stream, 720p, 720p stream, and so on and so forth. But again, I highly recommend just going with whatever I have on the table on the screen that I had on the screen earlier, if that makes sense. But anyways, moving on from that, we can go to the output tab, and in case you guys do want to run a simple stream without a bunch of settings, then all you have to do is just make sure that the output mode is on simple instead of advanced. From there, just change your video bitrate to whatever I have on the screen right now, like with the table, and whatever corresponds with your upload speed. Even though I have a good upload speed at 11, I usually like to leave mine around like the 4000 range, like usually like 4500 or something like that. Leave your bitrate at 160, it really doesn't matter too much for your audio bitrate, and you want to make sure that your encoder is the NVENC encoder. From there, enable advanced encoder settings, and then from here we're going to see your encoder preset. So change your preset to max quality in case you have like a really good graphics card like a RTX 2080 or a 1080 Ti or something like that. Change it to quality in case you have like a normal one like a 1070 or 1060, and then change it to performance in case you have anything lower than that, but I really don't recommend going anything below performance, personally. Anyways, from there all you have to do is hit apply and you should be good to go. But for me, I'm doing a video on the advanced settings, so I want to go back here, change this to advanced, and then let's get started with the settings. So leave your audio track on 1, and then what you want to do right away is change your encoder from this one to the one that says new. It's the new NVIDIA encoder, and you're probably not going to see this if you haven't updated your OBS yet, so definitely be sure to do that. And this is exactly the same encoder that I was talking about when I said that Streamlabs OBS just hasn't updated yet. So when you select this over the other NVIDIA one, you get more options to play with, as you can see right here. If you don't have this yet, then just go ahead and use the other one, but if you do, then I highly recommend using this one instead. One thing I do want to mention is in case you do have to use the old one, then make sure you do not check rescale output. We do not want to check that, but all the other settings you can probably copy from me. So I'm going to go back to the new one, and then from here, what you want to do is enforce the streaming service encoder settings. So check that. Now for your rate control, this determines what rate the frames are actually going to be encoded at. So what we want to do is just go ahead and pick CBR, which stands for constant bitrate. And then for bitrate, it's going to be the exact same thing as I showed you guys before. Just do whatever works best with your upload speed on the table that I'm showing you guys on the screen right now. Damn, that sentence took me a minute to say, but anyway. Now, I personally think that something like 4500 is usually a really good middle spot for really whatever upload speed you have. I know a lot of like the big streamers like Ninja, Courage, Nadeshot, a lot of these people, they do 6000 for their bitrate, but I really found that 4500 is a really good middle spot, like I said before. But honestly, if you just want to test your PC and like your speeds and all that stuff with different values, then obviously go for it. But if you have anything above like a 15 upload speed, then just leave it at 6,000 if you're gonna go any higher than this. There's almost never any point in pushing it any further than 6,000, especially because Twitch doesn't even allow you to go above 6,000, and if you do make yours above 6,000, then you're really just doing it for no reason at all. Change your keyframe interval to 2. Most streaming platforms actually require you to set it to 2, so that's why we're doing that. For your preset, what you want to do is make sure that you leave it on either max quality, quality, or performance, just like I said before. If you have a really good GPU, it's worth setting this to max quality. I have an RTX 2080, so that's usually what I do. If you have like a 1060 or 1070, then try doing quality, and if you have anything below that, then just change it to performance. But like one thing I really do want to say is in case you have it on like max quality or quality, and then you get like an encoder overload issue when you're streaming, then just slowly bring that down to like, maybe if you're on max quality, bring it down to quality, and if you're on quality, bring it down to performance. But again, like I said before, just stop at performance if you have to go that far. But definitely be sure to try each level and just see what works best for you. Anyways, moving on from that, you should always have your profile set to high, and the reason why I say that is because it really doesn't impact the performance of your stream at all, but it does give you access to a set of features that are really useful for streaming, so no matter what, we always want that to be on high. So go ahead and do that, and then for look ahead, you can usually leave this unchecked unless you're playing like a game that has a lot of low motion. But moving on from that, I highly recommend leaving Psycho Visual Tuning checked, because this actually enables an optimizer in the NVIDIA encoder that improves your image quality a ton. Anyways, for GPU, you can usually just leave this at 0. If you have 2 graphics cards in your PC, then you can pick which one you want to encode with, but I really wouldn't recommend changing it past 0 because NVIDIA is already like insanely efficient with their encoders, so it's not really that useful. Anyways, go ahead and change your last setting from max B-frames to 2, then go ahead and apply, and you should be good to go. From there, go to the streaming tab right here and just go ahead and make sure, oh wait, did I get a subscriber? Hey, I just got a subscriber. Anyway, go to your streaming settings and make sure that your service and your stream key and all that good stuff is good to go. If you use Streamlabs OBS, which I will have a download link for in the description below, then you should have everything automatically linked in the full in case you're for your mic device, just change that for you to do so. I believe the only things you might want to change are make this normal, make this NV12, 601, and then partial. From there, when you hit apply, hit OK, everything should be good to go. But anyways guys, that's really it for today's video. I do want to give a quick shout out to NVIDIA for actually helping me out with this video. If you guys did like it and you guys want to see more videos like it, then please do hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you guys have any friends who want to start streaming too, then definitely share this video with them, because if you guys both have good settings, you can both finally hit that start streaming button on OBS and finally enjoy the fun. But anyways, if you guys have any questions at all, just shoot me a follow on Twitter and then go ahead and tweet me. I should have it on the screen right now. I'll do my best to get back to every one of the tweets that I get, and also most of the comments that I get on this video as well. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Tradisi berkembang dengan ilmu dan teknologi. Herbal yang diproses menggunakan teknologi fraksinasi modern bantu redakan batuk. Herbakov.
If you guys want to learn how to, be showing you all how to get to and tips on how to notice by recording. I'm just using this as an example. So I click OK, and then for it to take effect, you have to close right down here to the bottom. Simply searching up settings, and then it's gaming, and it's got the Xbox logo next to it. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you can even have this selection if you don't have the Xbox app downloaded. So if you don't see it, then be sure to leave a comment down below. And go ahead and click that, and then once this comes up, you're gonna make sure it's selected onto game bar, and then right here where it says record game clips, screenshots, and broadcast using game bar, make sure it's ticked to the off switch. And then once you've done that, go over here to the left side and click game DVR, and then right here where it says record in the background while I'm playing a game, make sure that is also selected to off, and that should have fixed it. So now if you open up your game, which I'm going to do right now, once you get in your game, you're gonna playing a game, make sure that is also selected to off, and that should have fixed it. So now if you open up your game, which I'm going to do now, and it just feels a lot, feel it, and yeah, performance, subscribe all
Okay, so if you go up to the top, have a really bad PC cubic, it shouldn't make a common FPS type. We don't need to mess with this. We could just choose common, and then the FPS. One of these options, whichever one you're primarily recording with. All of these are recording on, so right here, 1 through 6. So you can selectively choose which audio track you want these to record on, but for the most part, everything's just going to be 1. Go back to our output. Change any of this unless you're adding a lot of different audio inputs. So back to settings, which audio track you want these to record on. Go back to our X264 means that you're probably a terrible processor, your base input. So we at that bitrate the entire 25. Basic is biggest file size if you have a bad PC, because CRF means it's working extra hard to match the quality of the previous frame every frame. That's what that's doing. So we really don't want to use VBR if you have a bad PC. And CRF is exactly what I just explained. Control rate factor. It tries to match the quality while they try to watch reviewers don't need custom buffer size. Keyframe intervals, keep that there. CPU usage. Here's the thing about this. It's a little bit confusing sometimes. It will mean you're really super fast area fast, because that'll improve the quality about that one. Use its main platform. And this. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment below. Subscribe and stuff on Amazon and TeePublic.
Planting. Bomb has been planted.
Grenade out!
Terrorists win. Flashback. Throwing a flashback. Throwing smoke. Grenade. Grenade out. Throwing fire. Throwing fire.
Easy for hands, dance. Put that upper belt, put that upper belt.
Moving, moving. Laying down smoke. Flashback. I'm throwing grenade. Grenade. Molotov. Smoke. I'm throwing smoke. Terrorists win. Bomb has been planted.
Flashbang.
I'm throwing a grenade. Smoke.
Flashbang!
Grenade.
Throwing smoke.
Throwing smoke. Flashback. Let's get this over with. I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. I'm defusing the bomb.
Easy for hands, dance. Put that upper belt, put that upper belt.
go, my brothers.
Deploying smoke shield. Throwing flashbang.
Fire in the hole. I'm throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing smoke.
Easy for hands, dance. Put that upper belt, put that upper belt.
Let's go, let's go. Throwing smoke.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing smoke. Throwing flashbang.
Throwing a grenade. Planting. Throwing fire. Bomb has been planted. I'm throwing a grenade. Throwing a flashbang.
Throwing a Molotov.
Terrorists win. Get ready. It is going to explode. We will defeat the mercenaries. Smoke. Flashback. Throwing flashback. Counter-terrorists win. Let's go. Champion.